this is a very deeply personal practice that we try and share with each other, but each person's journey with this is very unique. Um, there's a different path for every person. It's almost become cliche at this point. And what I wish for all of you is just an ability to deepen, to continue deepening this awareness and connection to yourself at your most deep level, because there is something to celebrate there, and that's kind of our theme this week, is like this, a celebration of you. And we want to honor all of the aspects of yourself. We want to honor the part of you that is still trying to figure everything out. This doesn't know what it's doing. That's moving forward like as if it's in a dark hallway looking for a light switch. And that's a beautiful place to be if you can surrender to it, if you can allow yourself to be there without feeling like you've got to be something else. This is a big challenge, even for spiritual folk. We're often trying to make it so that we never have to come back to this earth plane again. I want to be enlightened. I don't want to come back. I'm done. I'm not doing this again. And I think there's something profoundly beautiful about that hunger. Like the Sufis in their poetry talk about that hunger for the reuniting with their connection to the mysteries of life, to the divine, to whatever it is, that word that that might resonate with you about that. And there's the part of you that just wants some respite, the part of you that just wants a few minutes of peace in your mind where you're not feeling anxious. It's not a noble quest for enlightenment. It's just, I just want to feel happy for a few hours. I want to feel at ease for a few hours. I want to feel connected to the people in my life without struggle. There's that piece. And then in the middle, there's this part of you that knows already itself at the most deep level, even if it's hiding sometimes in the back, and learning to hear that voice. That's another piece of the journey. So how do we honor all of these things? How do we honor every aspect of where we're at? The part of us that's already enlightened, the part of us that's miserable sometimes, the part of us how do we honor that? We just do. And the practice of meditation gives us an ability, a vehicle for honesty, for beautiful honesty with ourselves. This is the space that you get to come and sit, and maybe you close your eyes or not, and have a one-on-one with you, where no one is going to beat you up over what you believe, or no one's going to try and take from you something or impose on you something. This is your time to celebrate your own personal journey. I am lucky. I have been blessed for the last almost 19 years. I've been in this process, an active process of self-discovery, meditation, yoga, just looking at my patterns, all this kind of stuff. I've been lucky enough to have a long time with this. And I was talking to a friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, about how I myself still have times when it's sad. I still have times when things are tough and things in the world feels like it's beating you up. This last year has been certainly a perfect example of that. But what I do have beyond all of that, that is something that has stayed with me since maybe a couple of years into the beginning of my really serious practice, is this feeling that it's going to be okay no matter what. No matter what, there's something in the background of every emotion, happy or sad, that's like, I got you. It's going to be okay. And I wish that for everyone. I wish that, and that comes with honoring yourself, spending time with yourself in an open way. And so I would like to open the floor if anybody has any questions. about that. Does anybody have anything they want to add or say? I see Jane leaning in.
um, it's interesting what you just said because I actually feel like I'm in such a good place right now, today especially. And I lost a friend 3 years ago, and I don't really cry about her very much at all. And not that I don't miss her or anything, but I was looking at her photo, and here I am in this great state, and I started to cry. And it just was so unbelievable to me that here I am, like I'm feeling so good. Why am I crying?
That's beautiful because you're feeling.
Yeah.
Because you're feeling in general, we have narrowed like this ability of what we're allowing ourselves to feel down to like this little thing, like where we used to be able to go when you were little, right? When and you'd be like, ah, and screaming and kicking and tantruming, and then running the next second, like, oh my God, like a little like a 3-year-old, right? Like those extremes. We've been forced by society and our own, to this little bit, but we want more of that upper feeling and we don't want the down feeling. So that you're giving yourself permission to feel both of those things, to feel good and to feel sad. That's this, we're uncompressing our range in meditation, you know and sadness is not a bad thing. you know Peace is not the word peace. Most people intend, maybe think that it means you're happy all the time. It's not so much that you're happy all the time, it's that you feel safe, even in no matter where you are, no matter what you feel. So for you to be able to say that, and it's beautiful, and to give yourself permission to feel, to cry about your friend.
Yeah.
Absolutely, please. My daughter, I talked to her a couple days ago. I got on. I mean, I've seen her, but like the other day, I just like I like reached out to her and I called, and she was like, "I'm okay. I'm not doing. I'm okay." She was saying, and I could tell she wasn't okay. I just let her be where she was, and then and 10 minutes later, she got a FaceTime comes through on my phone, and she's weeping, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I don't even know why I'm crying. I'm just right now. I'm just crying." And not to try and stop that or say, well, it's going to be all right, stop crying. No, cry, cry. I cry at commercials. I do. It's like, oh my God, it touched me. I cry at like, videos that people make where they open their heart and they sing with their moms. It's like, oh my God, you're singing with your mom. Ah! And when it hurts, when it's painful, when you lose somebody, you know, if you don't allow those emotions to flow, they get trapped. They get trapped, they're going to start attacking you. Or rather, you're going to start attacking yourself from your unconscious. And your illnesses will come. If you have any kind of physical ailments, they're going to get exasperated. You know, you're going to, or if you have a tendency towards isolation, you're going to isolate more. If you have any addictive, things, you're going to tend towards your addictions. We need to process. I think one of the hardest things that we've done, that has happened with this quarantine life we've been in lately, is that we have lost our ability to process with each other, because it's quick check-ins. How you doing? I'm great. Everything's cool. You know, um, or or the flip side is like you get a little time with somebody and you just don't want to let it. So you don't want to let it go. I just please stay. Please just stay. I just want someone to stay for a little while. And yet there's some part of you that's okay, and we're learning to just honor all of that. So thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Um, Anybody else? Hmm. Okay. Take a breath. A beautiful, deep, complete, non-spiritual, just a breath. That's you. That's you just letting yourself be. Let it out. Take a couple more big ones, or whatever it feels like you want. You don't even have to pretend to be like all spiritual about it. Just be, just let your breath go, and just let it go. We're not trying to create new masks here. We're learning to let go of our masks, to take our masks off. And not everyone will be able to handle that. Not everyone in your life will be willing to see that. But it's our willingness to return to ourselves a little at a time, a little at a time. There's a teacher who I love named Adyashanti. He's a wonderful, wonderful spiritual teacher. He was doing, I heard a recording, and he was doing a session with a group, and he invited someone up to like talk with him. And he says, "Okay, we're not going to get all spiritual now." And you hear, and it's an audio recording, and you hear on the other side, "Yes." And he's like, "No, no, 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 no. We're not going to get all spiritual here today." Yes, we're not. And it's like you can see this person cannot let go of this idea of spirituality. So let's let go of the idea of spirituality today. And as you come and maybe close your eyes, if you want to, don't close your eyes if you don't want to. This is not about any spiritual thing, any particular. Come and get comfortable for a minute, just here in yourself. I'm not going to close my eyes. I'm going to sit here. I'm just going to gaze out a little bit. And I'm going to remember, and I'm going to invite you to do the same as you just sit here. I'm going to invite you to just be where you are and look around the space that you're in and appreciate it for a moment. Not in a spiritual way, like, oh my God. I'm right here. I'm here in my living room. Wherever you are, you're in that place. Look around and actually look at everything for a second. Let your eyes linger on things for a moment and feel your reactions to them. So I see the things I see when I look around my room. Notice as you do this, if there's anything you're particularly avoiding looking at. Notice if there's anything that holds your attention for more than anything else, and notice what your feelings are about the things that you see. We're going to do this for like a minute. Just looking at each next thing that your eyes fall upon, but at the same time trying not to avoid anything, but not trying to specifically single anything out. But more than anything else, just give yourself permission as you're breathing here to just connect with it for a moment. I'm here. You're there. You're in your space. And then after you feel you've done that, maybe coming back around from the room, the once around the room you may have done, look at your hands. Feel them. Touch your fingertips to your thumbs. Move them, make fists, unclench them. Feel yourself. There's a paradox here. There is this sense of I amness in this thing. And yet there is also this witness, this part of you that is not this, that is aware of it. That's something very unique and interesting. Turn your hands over, look at it. You know, touch your arms. You know, press on your legs. I'm here. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm here. What does that feel like for you? Does that feel comfortable? Does that feel uncomfortable? Do you want to feel that? And that's not a bad thing if you say no. Maybe it's not comfortable for you. But it is what it is. This is where you are. This is where we begin. We begin with where we are now. Take a couple more deep breaths. Feel yourself on your chair, on your cushion. I'm going to close my eyes. If you feel called to do so, do so. If not, leave your eyes open. really begin to notice, if your eyes are closed, the other senses. So the sense of touch, ear, hearing, smell, taste. If your eyes are open, begin to take some of that awareness that's in your visual stimulus and begin to tune in more or equally more to the hearing, the taste, the smell, the touch. Begin to settle into the awareness of these senses. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel. And that feeling that comes from the sensations of the air on your skin, the feeling, the pressure of your clothing, or the weight of your body against whatever it's sitting on. It's one aspect of the feeling. Also, paying attention to the feeling in the body. There's, any aches, itches. If you exercise this morning, you might still feel the residual of your muscle work. If you just ate before this, you might feel the residual of your belly feeling a little more full. Notice it. Take your awareness out of what's coming down the road or what you did before and just feel it now. Hmm. Is it comfortable for you? Is it uncomfortable? Hmm. What do you hear? What sounds do you hear besides my voice? What does the room sound like? We are listening without commenting, hearing without thinking, watching without seeking. Hmm. Breathe. This is meditation, allowing everything to be as it is, watching it without trying to control it or comment on it, merely observing it. This is the doorway to your true self. Step through it. I'm going to give you 5 minutes here, 5 delicious minutes to observe with all of your senses where you are, how you are at this moment. And if the thoughts come in, the thinking mind and the distractions, I'm going to offer to you to don't struggle at all with them. Don't even try and stop them. Merely watch them. And as you do so, see if you can sense the watcher that is you. Celebrate that watcher. One more minute. Begin again if you've gotten lost. Start again for 1 minute. And as you sit here breathing, gazing, watching, if there's any of you who had no thoughts at all for those 5 minutes, and you are a master, and I would like you to teach this class because my mind was running all over the place, as it does sometimes. But you're not alone in this. You're not alone. So I'm going to offer you one more little piece of this continued practice here. I'm going to offer you one piece. I'm going to offer you to just, if you haven't closed your eyes, close your eyes. Continue your breathing and look out on the horizon of your mind, even if you're not visual. That's okay. Get the sense that you're gazing out. You're not alone. And I'm going to ask you to invite in that which stands in support of your journey, that which stands in support of your soul's quest to know itself again. And look out on that horizon and see what shows itself. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's someone you care about, maybe it's an animal or a place or a setting. Maybe it's someone who is visiting you from another plane, another planet, another world, someone who's passed, someone who's alive in your life now. You're not alone. See, as you breathe here for a moment, maybe a minute, who comes in? What shows itself to you? What's got you? Yes. And if nothing's coming in, the sense that at the ground of your being, perhaps, there's this embrace, the way the floor holds you up, the way the world and your immediate environment is there to provide this gift of time to find you again. What message does all of this have for you? Perhaps if something or someone came in, or a place or location, or even just this place you're in now. Give yourself another minute to listen with your heart, not your thinking mind, but your heart, and allow an image, a color, a word, a message of some kind to come to you. What is that message? And if you felt that you got a message, just honor it. If you felt something vague or uncertain, and just let it be. And know that as you come back to this place again and again, perhaps it will clarify itself. And if you got nothing particular that you could discern at all, that's fine. You give yourself the gift of watching, of opening your heart to the potential. The ego's voice speaks loudly, it speaks fast, it speaks intensely, it wants to distract you. The voice of your soul speaks quietly. It waits for you. It waits for you to say, I miss you, help me. It's always there speaking to you. It's us that's had trouble learning to listen. So for an intention to set, learn to listen to the quiet voice that speaks softly from the background. It never has anything bad to say to you. It never criticizes. It only offers help. If you're hearing anything else, it's not your spirit speaking to you, it's your ego. And you don't have to listen to it. Not anymore. I invite you to let go of this practice. Begin to find your space, yourself coming back to this space, this place that you find yourself in right now. Slowly, slowly sipping the light with your eyes. You are so important. You are so important. This does not happen without you. This does not happen without you. That's how important you are. And if I could help to get you to just accept even a millimeter of that, an ounce of that, then I've done something right in my life. How you all doing out there? Anybody want to say anything? Anybody have any questions or struggled with that in any way? Please.
I just wanted to say there's something like really, really beautiful with people, even if you're not physically in the same space, just like meditating together. And like I remember this in my yoga teacher training when we would sit for 45 minutes, like really early on Saturday every week. It was my favorite part. I felt like I never wanted it to end. Like we were going on an adventure together, even though we were all just sitting and meditating. That's what
Yes.
I felt like, and I felt that again today here. And I think that also has to do with this like continued practice and this continued gathering that we have. So I just like thank everyone for being in space and meditating together because it feels so beautiful. Like we're all doing this thing together.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you very much. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Gail.
Just wanted to let you know that you, I don't want to say you made me cry, but you brought up the feeling much like, the Budweiser commercials that I saw that was just the feeling, but thank you. Cause it was a good, cry, as you say. It wasn't a sadness. It was just kind of overwhelming, a little
Yeah.
overwhelming, but in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, Thank
So
you.
thank you for assisting that cry, I guess.
Oh, it's an honor to be here.
Bringing it up and
Yeah,
out.
we 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 have spent so much time holding back, you know, what we feel because it's not appropriate. And we, even when we're by ourselves, we start to not, we numb ourselves. What if we could all feel again? You know, what if we could all feel again and be okay with that? That's why it's beautiful to create spaces with people that you can trust. A sangha that you can, even if it's one person that you can do it with, or a group of people you can do it with. Give yourself find people you can, trust to be with, and that's not always easy. I understand that. When I started this practice, like literally 19 years ago, there was, one yoga studio, or two on Long Island. There was, you know, I only heard about yoga because Sting was doing it. I was a mess. My options were to go to a doctor, or, to, just learn this thing called meditation that nobody even knew what it was or was talking about it and thought it was crazy. And, I started to go into this deep dive into myself, and there was really not too many people I could talk with about it. And so I was kind of forced to do this on my own in a lot of ways. And now it's beautiful. We talk about meditation and mindfulness in schools. We have people who bring this to corporations. We have people who, who make it their work to help people feel better from a new perspective. And all of you here are a part of that beautiful movement. You know, so thank you, because we couldn't have done this before. We couldn't have. I'm very grateful. And I for one, just I want to feel. I want to feel. It just feels so much better to feel. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, we could. We always said we were going to do these for an hour, but we don't have to. We don't have to just sit here. I'm very grateful. So, like as I said, for this week, it's our last week doing this together. Our theme is celebrating you. All right, honoring and celebrating you. And so we'll try to bring that feeling in. And as you go through your days today, celebrate yourself. Remember to stop or pause at different points during your day. Maybe set an alarm for some time today to just stop and take 5 breaths, and to realize that you are important. The healing of this planet, the healing of the souls, it doesn't happen without you. That's how important you are. And that's not a pressure thing. You just be you, and that'll happen. And I love you all for that. So thank you.